Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're paying close attention to the NFL landscape right now, you know that the Steelers are sitting pretty at 6-3, sitting comfortably near the top of the AFC North. But what's brewing behind the scenes? Rumors and reports are swirling that the Green Bay Packers, currently struggling at 4-5 and facing a major rebuild, might be looking to shake things up in a big way. And the name that's coming up in the trade talks: Xavier McKinney, the talented safety from the Packers, who could be the piece that shifts the balance in Pittsburgh's favor as we head into the stretch run of the season. Now let's break this down, because it's a fascinating story that involves not just the immediate impact, but also what it could mean for the future of the Steelers' defense. Diana Rossini, a well-respected NFL insider, reports that the Packers are facing a tricky situation. They're 4-5, and with just a few weeks left before the trade deadline, they're looking at a potential rebuild. The Packers are also under a significant salary cap crunch, with around $10 million in space, which makes cap management a real challenge. Their primary focus right now is shoring up the offensive line after Jordan Love's struggles. He's completing just 59% of his passes, which isn't exactly inspiring confidence in Green Bay's offense. But the bigger issue for the Packers is their defense, which has been a concern all season long. They're allowing nearly 25 points per game, and their run defense has been especially porous, giving up an average of 4.9 yards per carry. This is a huge problem for a team that used to pride itself on its defense. Losing an all-pro safety like Xavier McKinney would be a blow, but it could also be a strategic move if they're prioritizing draft picks to rebuild other areas, specifically the aging defense and the secondary. According to sources, the Packers are mulling over trading McKinney, who's just 26 years old but already established as a coverage maestro. Last season, he racked up 42 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 2 forced fumbles, earning a PFF grade of 89. 2. His open field tackling rate is impressive at 92%, and he allows just 0.8 yards per target, which is elite. His expected points added, EPA, per play is an eye-popping -0.28, showing how impactful he is in limiting big plays. Plus, he had minimal injury issues this year, only missing some time in Week 2 with a shoulder injury. McKinney's career, which began with the Giants before moving to Green Bay, has been marked by consistent production. He has 8 career interceptions and averages about 120 tackles per year, with an overall PFF grade of 85. 6. His playmaking ability, especially in coverage and in the open field, has drawn comparisons to some of the great safeties of recent years, and he's seen as a leader on the field. With the Packers considering trading him, it's clear they're trying to reshape their roster, possibly for a future rebuild, as they look to recoup draft picks and build through the draft rather than free agency. Now, from the Steelers' perspective, this is exactly the kind of move that could propel them into a new level of defensive dominance. Pittsburgh's defense has been solid all season, ranking among the top units in the league, but adding a player like McKinney would take them to another echelon. Think about it, pairing him with Minkah Fitzpatrick creates one of the most formidable safety duos in the NFL. It would give the Steelers a dual threat in coverage and run support, drastically reducing big plays and improving their overall efficiency. In 2025, McKinney's stats are already eye-opening. He's recorded 42 tackles with 4 interceptions and a PFF grade of 89. 2. His ability to limit yards after the catch, YAC, is remarkable, reducing opponents' YAC from 4.2 yards to just 3.1. That kind of playmaking from a safety helps a defense elevate from good to great, and it's exactly what Pittsburgh needs as they aim for another deep playoff run and, ultimately, a Super Bowl appearance. Looking at the numbers, the Steelers' defense could see a significant boost. Their coverage grades would go up, and their interception rate might increase by around 11%. McKinney has a knack for turning the tide of games with ball-hawking plays, and his 4 interceptions this season already echo the Polamalu legacy, a history of Steelers safeties making game-changing plays. The fact that he's only 26 means he's entering his prime, and with the right coaching and system, he could be a cornerstone for years to come. As far as the trade specifics go, rumors suggest the Steelers are interested in acquiring McKinney for a second-round pick in 2026. That's a relatively modest price for a player of his caliber, especially considering the impact he could have on the team's championship ambitions. With the Steelers sitting at 6-3 and in the thick of the playoff hunt, adding a player like McKinney could be the difference between a good team and a championship contender. Now let's talk about the postseason implications. Right now, the Super Bowl odds are looking more favorable for Pittsburgh, especially if they can bolster their secondary. According to betting odds, the Steelers' chances of winning the Super Bowl have improved from plus 1,500 to plus 750, reflecting increased confidence in their championship potential. McKinney's ball-hawking ability, combined with Fitzpatrick's leadership and the Steelers' disciplined defense, makes them a serious threat. His ability to create turnovers, 4 interceptions already this year, can swing momentum in critical moments, just like Ed Reed did for the Ravens back in the day. It's no stretch to imagine McKinney becoming that kind of impact player for Pittsburgh. Looking further ahead, this move could also cement the Steelers' defensive identity for years to come. Pittsburgh has a storied history of elite defenses, from the steel curtain of the 1970s to the dominant units in the 2000s. If they can land McKinney, they're essentially adding a player who could be a franchise cornerstone, a leader in their secondary, and someone who elevates the entire unit. It's a move that signals they're all in for a Super Bowl push, not just this season, but for seasons to come. Of course, the Packers are skeptical about trading him. They see the value he brings as a young, versatile safety with proven playmaking ability. But they're also aware that, with their current rebuild mode, they might not be able to keep him long-term anyway. The trade, if it happens, would be a strategic move to recoup draft capital and accelerate their rebuild process. For the Steelers, it's about grabbing that opportunity, recognizing that adding a player of McKinney's caliber could be a game-changer. So what does this all mean for the Steelers? It's a clear statement that they're not settling for good, they want to be great. They're aiming to build a defense that can dominate not just in the regular season, but also in the playoffs. With McKinney, they get a ball hawk, a leader, and a player who can turn the tide of any game. The AFC North is already competitive, but with this kind of upgrade, Pittsburgh could be looking at a division title and a real shot at the Super Bowl. As for the bigger picture, this move would echo the Steelers' long-standing philosophy of building through smart drafts and strategic trades. It's reminiscent of the kind of bold moves they made in the past, like acquiring Troy Polamalu or drafting Ben Roethlisberger. This potential trade for McKinney fits that mold, a move to reinforce their core and push them over the top. And with the season heating up, every game, every play, and every strategic move matters more than ever. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. This possible trade, if it goes through, could be one of those defining moments of the season. It's a move that signals that the Steelers are serious about contending, that they're willing to make bold decisions to ensure their place at the top of the AFC. The addition of Xavier McKinney would not just be about filling a need. It would be about elevating the entire team and setting the stage for a deep playoff run. The Steelers have always been about resilience, smart moves, and tough, disciplined football, and this potential acquisition embodies all of that. So keep your eyes peeled, Steelers Nation, because things are heating up, and this could be the move that takes us back to the promised land.